Hello, my name is Solo, this is a new Rage Gaming video, and yes, it looks like we're going to be getting a new set of videos for every weapon in Rise each day until it's done. 14 weapons, 7 days of videos. That is what it seems like is happening right now. Today we're back with the bowguns. The light and heavy bowgun both get their gameplay, and in particular, the heavy bowgun continues that trend of counterattacks in Rise. So let's jump right in and see what's going on first with the heavy bowgun. This time the heavy bowgunner comes fully equipped in that Tetranodon set, looking like a chunky turtle with his massive gun, because yeah, all turtles do come fully equipped with a gun at birth, we know that. Seriously though, I do really like this set with the bowgun. It gives me kind of green stormtrooper vibes. The plating is really cool. Plus, the fight here is actually with the Bishoton himself. This gives us a nice opportunity to see it in some real combat instead of a cut trailer. Because of its interestingly small wings, he moves in bursts rather than, say, full flight, making use of that weird third arm tail to stand tall or reposition. We see that it's very spinny in its movement with flips and spins. I think this dude might be a breakdancer. I'm very much looking forward to fighting it. Right off the bat with the gameplay though, take a look at this. Is this heavy bowgun being charged by default? Obviously there's a shot type meant for charge damage, but this seems a bit different. This looks comparable to the way you would hold a bow, right? And then charge up those levels, releasing a powered up arrow hit. This looks so similar to that. Could this be an ammo type where you charge up, or is this built into the heavy bowgun's kit now? I think this might be default, but we'll have to see in the demo. Anyway, it's nice to see this small evade after the charge up shot, giving this heavier type some more mobility, which I would actually compare to, say, the switch axe sidestep. In the next clip, we do have the Wyvernheart Gatling gun version of the weapon shown for those consistent hits and a higher fire rate, of course, but we don't actually see any Wyvern snipe in this video. I don't think that means there isn't going to be any sniping in Rise, but I do think it was strange it wasn't shown. What is back though is the monstrous volley shots that rain down fire like a mortar. I remember my first time seeing this attack. I was blown away by the power of it, especially when 4 hunters are doing it at once. But that's it for the core gameplay. Now let's talk about the silkbind attacks. These are the unique attacks that each weapon gets in Rise. The first of the heavy bowguns is the free silkbind glide. What a long-winded name. Apparently we'll use this as a gale of destruction, moving in a direction of our choice. We'll either quick sheath after the slide or perform a powerful close range attack. We throw out a quick wirebug, drag ourselves quickly in a reasonably far and fast slide, having used this for, say, an escape, an evade, or obviously aggressively, where we might send ourselves at the monster, dodge an attack while we do it, prepare this powerful blast, and smash the monster with it. But I must say, I find the charge up on this a bit awkward. It's definitely going to need to be well timed so you don't get hit while you're charging it up. But I will say this new evasive movement is going to be a big deal for heavy bowgunners, giving them new mobility that should really help them out. Next up though, our second silkbind attack is counter shot. Like I said, Rise loves counters apparently. We saw this in trailer 2, but now we get some real information and a good look at it. We send out a web of silk around us and then take a stance that prepares for an incoming blow. Once we take a hit, that triggers the counter, and then we send out our own powerful hit. So yeah, it is a true counter, becoming an absolute unit that can take any hit and then return your own one. I love counters, and it's part of why I play longsword. To see more counters across more weapons only makes me more happy, because I do like to play everything. But the counter on this one seems pretty forgiving, I must say. The wind up on the animation does take a moment, but it looks like, based on this clip, while setting up, that still counts as a successful counter. And on top of that, in another clip, we take a counter as the monster flies through the hunter, and then we're able to do a 180 before then sending out the counter shot. So that is some serious utility. So yeah, we're going to have a powerful, forgiving counterattack to make use of on top of the new mobility. Heavy bowgun, I must say, is looking pretty damn good in Rise. But now let's move on to the light bowgun update, which by the way shows us fighting Tobi in the gameplay. Another world monster has obviously made it into Rise, although yeah, we did know about this one from the very original trailer, in which Magmelo had Tobi just casually in his mouth. Poor Tobi. Now when it comes to the light bowgun, I must say this was a surprise hit for me when I first tried it. After using the heavy version, I eventually swapped and tried the light bowgun, and that felt so freeing. I could casually move around during my shots, slide and dodge so easily, and I love the mine mechanic. I never expected to enjoy the light bowgun as much as I did, so I'm very excited to see what's new in Rise. So starting up, it looks like we're using pierce ammo in this gameplay and making use of that dodge slide, which is back again. Happy to see that. But next Next up is the mine effect from the wyvern blasts, quickly preparing areas for a monster to step into for some explosive results. But wow, yeah, the light bowgun might not have any major changes to its core gameplay. Unlike many other weapons we've seen in Rise in these trailers, we're already on the silkbinds. Maybe they've just not shown what might be new about light bowgun. Maybe there's ammo types we've not seen, but that is kind of disappointing compared to the other weapons so far. So first up, the silkbind glide, which is the same concept as the heavy bowgun, but actually feels a bit better to me. We surge forward at a much faster speed and unleash a powerful close range attack, which is specifically stated to be severing damage. Isn't that interesting? So we could cut off tails with that specific attack, right? One thing I haven't mentioned in these trailers yet is how the hunters have various voice lines for various attacks now. I have to mention it because here he actually does the nothing personal kid line.
Nothing personal!
That is fantastic. I have mixed opinions on many lines, right? I might want to turn that feature off, but it might win me over if there's more lines like that. Anyway, as you see, we dive in and perform one of the heaviest hits I've seen a light bowgun do ever. A huge stagger on that Tobi, a massive blast. It even knocks the hunter backwards, and then he has to do that reload right after. Great to see light bowguns with something nice and powerful in one hit, but let's move on to the second silkbind attack. This is where things got interesting for me. The aerial light bowgun is back thanks to this new vault. It uses a wirebug to leap into the air, and then 3 options are available. In this attack, we can not just fire off shots from the air, but we can also reload midair or fire off the wyvern blast, aka the mine, directly below us, doing a sort of double jump effect, and if that mine connects with the monster, it'll stick to it. That is so cool. 3 options via 1 silkbind attack, so we could use it to dodge and then reload at the same time, or pop off some hits as we reposition, or most importantly, sticky bomb the monster as if we're the goose himself. You know, maybe we can become the B-52 bomber now. I think this will be really impactful on standard gameplay for the light bowgun, with pierce shots seeming really effective in this gameplay. Maybe the damage has become a bit more respectable this time around. And with the aerial reload, that might be a good way to quick reload compared to a normal reload on foot. Sadly though, we didn't see any variety in ammo types here in this gameplay, so my question is, how much damage are we doing here? You know, light bowgun, I always felt like needed a bit of a damage bump, but there you have it. What do you think between the heavy and light bowgun? I must say, light bowgun, as far as its core gameplay goes, saw not enough love, but I do like the silkbind attacks. I would assume actually heavy bowgun players are more common than the light bowgunners, so if you're a light bowgun main, let me know you're out there and let me know what you thought. For me, the range playstyle is so useful and feels totally different. It's a nice mix-up from melee combat. I love having the option to swap to that for a few hunts, even against specific monsters. A full party of heavy bowgunners is always a really good time too, and now we've got that counterattack. I have a good feeling the heavy bowgun is going to be a top tier weapon in Rise. Either way, that's everything this time, so I figure I'll see you tomorrow for whichever weapons are actually coming next. We previously had it in this nicely ordered list, but suddenly today they mixed up the order of the weapons and now it looks like a bingo card sheet. If it does follow the previous rules, then it would be the hammer and the sword and shield. We'll have to wait and see though, so until tomorrow, I've been Hollow, you've been you, and I'll see you next time.